Welcome to DriverD Trains. Thanks for stopping by. I'm your host, DriverD. Our conductor and brakeman, Scratchy-C, is working on something important. In August 2023, I released the first video in my series on assembling a DCC-EX CommandStation to control our trains. Over the course of that series, we assembled the CommandStation hardware, installed the DCC-EX EX CommandStation software, added and configured Wi-Fi, and added an LCD display to the CommandStation. A lot has changed in the intervening 18 months for both the CommandStation hardware and the DCC-EX software. In this video, we'll start a new series on DCC-EX in 2025. We'll start with a look at the new EX-CSB1 Express, the all-in-one plug-and-play CommandStation and booster that DCC-EX announced in December 2024. Then we'll look at how to configure the EX-CSB1 using both the DCC-EX EX installer and the Arduino IDE. Be sure to check this video's description for links to my other videos, as well as the various websites and products I mentioned here. Also, if you are enjoying the videos, please leave a comment and hit the like button. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. The conductor is waiting, so let's get started. DCC-EX in 2025 EX-CSB1 Express. Introducing the EX-CSB1. In December 2024, DCC-EX officially announced the release of their EX-CSB1 Express, an all-in-one plug-and-play CommandStation and booster. The DCC-EX team had been developing the EX-CSB1 over the past year, with design support from their Austrian manufacturing partner Semify, which had also designed the EX Motor Shield 8874. A few popular YouTube channels got a sneak peek at the CSB1 ahead of its release.
I have been keeping a bit of a secret over the past few months. My new layout has been running on a new ready-to-go out-of-the-box DCC system, and it's the most affordable DCC system that you don't have to build yourself.
The EX-CSB1 includes all the parts of a DCC-EX CommandStation, including an ESP32 microcontroller, 5-amp EX motor shield, Wi-Fi, and an 8-line OLED display, all in one small package. The form factor of the EX-CSB1 Express is basically identical to that of the EX Motor Shield 8874, which is itself designed around the form factor of the Arduino Uno. In other words, for a DCC CommandStation, this thing is tiny. A single 12 to 25 volt external DC power supply provides power for both the EX-CSB1 and the tracks. The EX-CSB1 can also be connected to a computer for programming and testing, or to JMRI via a USB serial port on the board. The brains of the EX-CSB1 is an ESP32 Room 32E microcontroller with built-in Wi-Fi and antenna. While the chip also includes Bluetooth, DCC-EX is not normally configured for Bluetooth, as the ESP32's Bluetooth interferes with its Wi-Fi, and I have not yet seen confirmation that the EX-CSB1 specifically supports Bluetooth. The EX-CSB1, like all of DCC-EX, is an open-source project. We can find all the files and hardware designs for the EX-CSB1 on the DCC-EX GitHub page, including all the Gerber files and bill of materials we'll need to order one from a PCB manufacturer such as JLC PCB. However, what viewers will probably be most excited about is that we can order the EX-CSB1 fully assembled and ready to run from any of a number of resellers worldwide. In the US, we can order the EX-CSB1 directly from the DCC-EX online store, starting at $120 plus shipping. A 15-volt, 5-amp power supply suitable for most model railroad scales adds an additional $25. If the DCC-EX store does not have power supplies in stock, you can find a similar power supply on Amazon for about the same price. I'll include a link in this video's description. The EX-CSB1 does not come with a case, unless your reseller provides one, but ships with a sturdy plastic mounting plate that can be screwed in place to our benchwork. Downloadable STL files for a 3D printable case are also available on Thingiverse. Connecting the EX-CSB1 to our layouts. We also need to connect the EX-CSB1 to our model railroad. The connections are the same as those on the EX Motor Shield 8874. There are two pairs of screw terminals, an A pair and a B pair, for two independently controlled motor outputs. The terminals feature removable plugs that make it easier to attach our wiring to the connectors. By default, the A terminals will power the main track, while the B terminals will power our programming track, but we can change that. Note that the A and B terminals on the EX-CSB1 are arranged opposite to those on the standard Arduino motor shield, with the B terminals for the programming track on the EX-CSB1 being located adjacent to the input jack for the power supply, while the A terminals for the main track are further from the jack for the power supply. One thing to watch out for when handling the EX-CSB1 is the ESP32's Wi-Fi antenna, which extends off the side of the board and out the side of the case. I'm not sure how fragile it is, and I don't really want to find out. To connect the EX-CSB1 to our model railroad, we need to wire up two pairs of wires from the command station to our tracks, one pair for the main track and one pair for the programming track. To make the connections between the command station and track easier, I recommend using screw terminal barrel connectors, male and female, in the 5.5mm by 2.1mm size, as they are easier to plug and unplug and more durable than the connectors on the EX-CSB1 itself. For wire, the screw terminals will accept wire from 16 to 28 gauge. We can use either solid core or stranded wire, but remember that stranded wire is thicker than solid core wire of the same gauge, so 18 gauge stranded wire will be about as heavy as we can go. If we use stranded wire, we will also need to take a few steps to make sure we get a good connection with the screw terminals on the connectors, as they tend to spread the wire strands, which eventually causes them to come loose and break. We can try tinning the wire with a bit of solder, but if our tinning increases the diameter of the wires, they may not fit in the connectors. I highly recommend using ferrules with stranded wire for screw-type connections. There are ferrules made specifically for crimping the ends of stranded wire. One of the advantages of these ferrules is that they funnel all the strands of the wire into a smaller diameter than we could do otherwise, without having loose strands hanging out. A special crimping tool makes a square post suitable for use with screw terminals and spring connections. Nip the ends to get the length just right. Insert them carefully and tighten the screws. Snug as a bug in a rug. I'll include a link to the tool I use in this video's description. Of course, this is not an issue with solid core wire. At the other end, we connect our wires to the existing track wiring on our layout. We can also solder our wires to a pair of rail joiners or other track feeder wires, either for the layout or an improvised connection to a programming track or a bit of track on the workbench. Using the EX-CSB1 to control our trains. As with any other DCC-EX system, we control the EX-CSB1 and run our trains using an app such as Y-Throttle or Engine Driver on a smartphone or tablet. We can also control the EX-CSB1 with JMRI, either through a USB cable connected to our computer or over Wi-Fi. And there are commercially available throttles, such as the train control systems TCS, UWT-50, and 100 that can connect to DCC-EX over Wi-Fi. Be sure to check out some of my previous videos on how to use Y-throttle and engine driver with DCC-EX or JMRI. As I mentioned, the EX-CSB1 is an all-in-one plug-and-play command station and booster. To use it as a command station, we simply take it out of the box, plug it in, and connect our phone or tablet to its Wi-Fi access point using the password shown on the OLED display. Be sure to bring your readers because the display is pretty tiny. We'll look at how to configure the EX-CSB1 to connect to our home Wi-Fi in the next video. Then, in our Y-throttle or engine driver app, we select the DCC-EX server, enter the DCC address for our locomotive, switch to the throttle screen, and we're off. It's that simple. All aboard! The EX-CSB1 can also run DC locomotives and serve as a booster for another command station, but those are conversations for another day. Right now, let's go run some trains. What's next? Configure DCC-EX EX-CSB1 with EX-Installer. In my next video, we'll look at how to configure the EX-CSB1 using the DCC-EX EX-Installer. We'll look at how to use EX-Installer to connect the EX-CSB1 to our home Wi-Fi and upload our EX Rail scripts. After that, we'll look at how to do those things and more using the Arduino IDE. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those upcoming videos. And check this video's description for links to my other videos, including my video series on assembling a DCC-EX command station and my series on using JMRI's Decoder Pro app to control our trains. Progress is a train that keeps on rolling and doesn't slow down. Sometimes we watch, and sometimes we ride. So hop on board and let's find out together what's on the track ahead. Until then, thanks for watching. Well, Scratchy, did you figure out what was important? Really? What's that? Oh, I see. All aboard!